What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Smoke World. I'm your host, Stone, so go grab that stick, go grab a glass, whatever you're drinking. Let's sit back and have a conversation. You can follow me on Instagram at SmokeBro50, and I tell you this every time, folks. Send those emails to smokebro50@gmail.com. Guess what, people? I got my boys in the house, my brothers of the Leaf. Machine and Ty is in the building. What's up, fellas?
What's up, Stone?
What's up, Kev? What's happening?
What's the deal, brothers? How y'all feeling, man? What's going on with you? What's happening in life? What you smoking? What you smoking? Talk to me.
Oh, it's good. We trying to see what new is coming out right now. We smoke a variety of things, so just waiting for something new, like when that The Vision comes out. Want to see if we can check that out.
Oh, The Vision. See, I'm getting educated right there. I'm not familiar with that.
The Vision is
who's that by?
CAO.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the box is lit up.
Is that one Rami posted?
Yeah, with the blue light.
Yeah. Gotcha. You said the box lights up. Christmas lights?
It's got some kind of lights in it where it Joe lights up and it stays lit, because somebody had posted they had theirs when it came out like 5-10 years ago, and it still lights when you open it. Because it's a humidor too when you open it
now
up.
here's the thing. Stoney, how much is that going to cost? Yeah, that's not a Stony. That's not a Stonism.
Yeah,
that might cost a couple dollars. That's not even a light.
It's
The box lights up.
It's going to be a couple dollars.
Yeah, I'm sorry, folks. I take gifts. Christmas is coming, but yeah, I'm not going to be able to buy that probably.
Well, post your Cash App.
Yeah, how about that? I need to get that. What's up, Machine? What's the deal, brother? What's going on with you, man?
Living life, man. Enjoying life. Enjoying the smoke. One of the things, I'm just going to recap one of the things Ty said. He made a good point. You have to smoke different cigars, because if not, your palate will be so limited. You won't be able to taste the different leaves from different countries, or you won't be able to taste anything. You'll just be stagnant.
Well, that's very true. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting educated. You educate my people, the listeners. Folks, this is what I'm telling you on Smoke World. Folks will educate you. So what else is going on in life, man? Like, have you guys been, number one, let me rewind just a little bit. You guys actually have a group that's on Facebook. Won't you guys kind of, either one of you can elaborate on that particular group, the name of the group, and how can folks join, and give a little background of it.
Yeah, well, the name of the page is on Facebook. It's called Long Ashes Knights of the Round Table. Theoretically, we've been around for about 8 years, but the site been up for 7 years. Matter of fact, 8 days would make our 7th anniversary being on Facebook.
Well, congratulations. Happy anniversary.
We definitely appreciate it. We got T-shirts, we got hats, we got all types of apparel. Ty done a wonderful job putting things together. We just been trying to move in a kind of slow pace.
Okay, all right, cool. So if they want to join, I guess they must go to through Facebook and do a search of Long Ashes.
Yes, Knights of the Round Table.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that's what's up.
And just keep in mind, we do have rules. The rules is just to protect the people that are on there, and also to make sure that everybody can have a fair opinion without going way too far to the left. Which I've seen it happen in different groups, and it's kind of turning people off a little bit.
Gotcha.
Then we have guys that's kind of going after the women smokers, and we're a big advocate. If we get an email from a woman member that's a part of the page, then we start looking into it, and we possibly delete you.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that might be a good segue into, you just triggered something about the women smokers. Touching on women smokers at the lounge, and I know there's a new lounge just opened up in the area, and that was one of the conversations. How do a lounge attract the female smoker? And I would like to get, your opinions on what are some of the things you think may assist in helping some of the female smokers feel comfortable, number one, to be able to come to the lounge, enjoy your smoke. I'm thinking for some reason somewhat of a challenge, because I know some other lounges do have a contingency of women on a regular basis. Not all lounges do. And the ones who don't, what do you think they need to do?
Well, they have to, one, reach out to them, like invite them that they're welcome. Okay. You have to have something saying, some kind of event or something directed towards women to let them know that lounge has no issue with women and welcome women, and also cater to the kind of things that they like the sweeter or the flavored cigars and the lighter cigars, and maybe some kind of different accessories, things like that, just to let them know that they're welcome there too.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. One thing I definitely like to add, like I mentioned, sometimes fellas, when we see these women coming to stop acting like hounds, get off them, let them get comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, you can talk to them about cigars, but they come out like we like to come out to relax, have a good time, good smoking, go home. I mean,
Right.
sometimes you have to be real mindful of that.
And yeah, I think and that's one of the I think the challenges. The fact because I have talked to some female smokers, and that was one of the things they mentioned. Like they don't feel like they're in a club and they're there to smoke and enjoy smoking. You got a guy running right up on them. Yo, what's up? You're like, whoa, this ain't that kind of party, my man. Relax yourself.
Yeah.
Again, if you want to talk cigars,
Yeah,
hey, what's your name?
absolutely.
You be just like if you did if there was a male.
Yeah, I mean,
No
you be
different.
friendly, all that. Just say like, hey, it's these different groups out here if you haven't seen it. But don't be a hound. I understand some women are very attractive in many ways, and you makes it more attractive because they smoking. But give them a break.
Right. Okay.
Don't run them away before they get settled.
And like I said, go back to what you were saying, Ty. Again, because each person has a different experience with the cigar. Because some females, if they smoke, well, we don't know. I don't say we mean the majority. That's the first thing we want to send them to is that infused cigar, and they take offense to that. I mean, because I'm a female, I mean, I've been smoking cigar for 20 years. I don't need you. I'm good, thank you. I don't do that. So it's it's like that's a fine line to walk because you don't know. And again, we're not cigar owners or cigar lounge owners, but just to introduce, whether it be male or female, I think that's one of the things that I know our group does. Like I said, whether you male or female, it's first thing we're gonna give you is infused because again, something sweet on the palate, something sweet on the lips, and again, you're introducing someone into the cigar culture. I'm not hitting you with what I smoke. I'm a full body smoker, so I can't give you that. And now you have a bad experience, you throw up, you turn green. 10 years from now, you're still thinking about that one cigar you had. You won't mess with that stuff, dog.
Well, I think it depends. Like if the woman said they ever smoked before, because a lot of them that come to the lounge are with their male companion or a female friend, and this is their first time. So most likely you would start them there because if you start them out with something medium or full, they might never smoke again.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but if they said they've got lounge experience, then you just would ask them what type of cigars you smoke, and you would direct them that way.
Gotcha.
Sometimes they don't need to do that to fellas. I think sometimes some owners, including their staff, need to be properly trained on what a leaf is.
Yeah, it's true. That's a whole nother argument. That's a whole nother conversation.
Because I had people coming to me here, Charles, Connecticut. I'm like, I don't need your help. Matter of fact, get away from me.
Oh, damn.
I mean, we both had them experiences. Because me and Ty talk about it. How you going to point us in the direction where you think we should smoke?
Yeah.
I guess that's a tricky line because I guess you're trying just to be in the defense of, on the other side to say, okay, you're trying to have customer service and you're trying to be helpful. Hey, because you got some lounges, some places you go, humidors, and, folks run right in there with you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You like to look first,
Yeah.
and then
If I have a question,
I will ask you.
Right, but I don't want you to
I don't have a problem with you being there to assist, but don't attack me.
right. Don't make
You
me
know
feel
what I'm saying?
uncomfortable in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I want to be able, like most people that go to lounges are familiar with cigars, so they know what they want. It's a matter of, do you have this brand or something?
Right.
So, but I don't need you to direct me anything unless I say, hey, what type of or new cigars you have, then we can
Right.
do that.
I mean, there's something new out. Have you tried this? But yeah, some places as soon as you walk in, they're right there behind you, looking at you like, how come I feel like you think I'm going to steal something? That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And that's maybe based on our perception of just the culture that we live in, that we have had that happen on many occasions going into a store. So now we walk to the humidor and I see, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
I'm good. You understand? So
Right.
it makes you feel uncomfortable.
Well, like I said earlier, if you understand the culture, if you understand what type of leaf you use, where the leaves come from, the difference in the shades.
Right.
Once you ask a person what they like, and if they can't find them, you should better point them in any direction. If you're a true smoker.
Key word. If you're a true smoker. But this is the thing about why I even started this podcast, because I've really found out how much I don't know about cigars. And I'm smart enough to know, hey, I surround myself with people who are very knowledgeable, because there's so many different aspects to this cigar and this culture, the blending and the filling. It's just a whole, I mean, you really have to immerse yourself, like going to college here for 4 years and say, look.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah, I mean, but the average smoker, meaning the average person, is like, okay, you either like the cigar or you don't like the cigar. And I'm not saying you have to get too technical, just know all the nuances of the cigar. But, you know, it's like, okay, how you like that smoke? You're going to get, it was all right, or, yo, this joint's the bomb.
Oh, see, that's the one that gets me the most. When somebody pick up a cigar and smell it, I say most professionals in the industry cannot tell you.
Right.
They can only tell you their brand at the most.
Right.
You're not smelling anything. I'm like, I ask the person, tell me, what are you smelling?
Is that like what we used to do with the finger?
Hey, check this out.
Little shell shell from down the street. Smell that. Yo, for real? Yeah, dog. That was yesterday, man. Did you wash your hands? So, you mean, is it the same concept? Like, let me smell that. Yeah, this is Bokita Shamahila. What? What cigar is that, my man? So, you know.
Yeah, plus, it's made up in 3 parts, and you may have a 4th department. Fourth part, some cigars are front end loaded, some are back end loaded. Depending what they're putting in there, if you can get all those smells together, you good.
Yeah, like Vicky Fernandez, my friend, this is a very good cigar. I make a nice cigar. It's very, very smooth, very rich. I got the Nicaraguas, I got the Pronto Perfilers. You're like, oh, okay, that's nice. You smell it? Smell like all of the manures. Smell like the manures. Smell like the who? Manures? Poop? Yeah, smell like they all smell like that. Smell like the old barnyard. So, you know, each his own. You know, you that kind of guy, you're going around sniffing cigars. First of all, I wouldn't recommend sniffing cigars pre-COVID or post-COVID.
Right.
So that's just respectful, because most of the cigars are in a cellophane wrapper. If you take that baby out, start sniffing it on your nose, and you're in violation.
Yeah.
And the cellophane wrapper is a whole nother story. That's a whole nother different story right there. Why
You're
they
not
was
gonna
put
get
on.
anything anyway.
Yeah.
I'll talk to somebody about that. I asked, and I think they said basically for just shipping and for protection, consumer protection more so.
Well, when they first, the information I really got when they first started putting cigars out, there wasn't a whole lot of
Cellophane.
humidors.
Oh, okay.
Humidors. People had small, they didn't know how to take care of them. So you put a cellophane wrapper on it. What it does, it slows down the aging process, and it gives it a bit more. Unless your humidity is real messed up, you still get a bad cigar no matter what.
Right.
But it slows down the process, and then you got the touching thing, because the oils that's on your finger gets soaked into the leaf. People don't realize that.
Yeah, they are like sponges, probably.
You get a lot of people who touch it. I was like, what the hell are you touching? And then they want to smell and touch.
Yeah. Like, really? Hey, take this. Hey, you want to smell? Nah, I'm good, buddy.
Ask one guy, you do that at the titty bar, you smell and touch?
Yeah, I want to smell it and touch. I paid for this. You paid for it, that's different. But if you didn't, you walking around inside the humidor grabbing stuff and sniffing it. Hey, this is nice. Smell that, buddy. I'm good, buddy.
But remember, if you have a Cameroon wrapper, they're very brittle.
Yeah,
Pick it up.
Yes.
Cigar's ruined. Then what?
Yeah, see, because they're so thin. Like me, my favorite wrappers are Pennsylvania broadleaf and the Sumatras.
Okay.
Now, I like those. They seem to be a little more oilier to me, and I like them a little better. Because I always have an issue with the Cameroons. Like, they always split on me.
Well, yeah,
They're a little thin leaf, real thin.
Yeah.
But people understand Pennsylvania broadleaf, that's done the old school way. People don't understand that. That's a hell of a smoke.
Oh, yeah.
See, folks, again, another free lesson.
But I ain't gonna miss it.
Another free lesson there. But, yeah, what lounges have y'all been hanging at? You ain't got to name them, but, you know, have you seen a pickup and things since, you know, the pandemic? We kind of hitting a second wave.
They picked up, but still not all of them are at full tilt. Every one of them is different, I'll put it that way, on how they're doing things that we used to go to. So you have to adjust to that too.
How about crowd sizes? Are you?
It depends. It's been up and down. It's not consistent, I'll put it that way.
Okay.
Like I've seen at some of them, if they have events, like it seemed like it was crowded when you had your podcast the other day, and that was an off day.
Yeah,
And that was
a nice little crowd.
And I could hear them in the background, and that was an odd day for a crowd.
Right, that was.
So it depends.
All right, so you saw. So like I said, depends on location. Number one, I guess the lounge and what they got going on that particular day or time.
Yeah, because personally, I haven't only been since the pandemic. I have only been to 2 lounges. That's it.
Oh, okay, but have you seen a difference?
Yeah, there is a difference. I mean, it's because see, the thing about we all know smoke, you can't really truly smoke with a mask on.
No.
So during the social
like
distances and people not allowing you come into the humidor without a mask on is a great thing.
Yeah,
So
a lot of places are requesting that you have a face mask to enter the humidor.
Yeah, and plus I still have been kind of sitting back because we're getting a resurgence and it's coming on strong. I just seen Pennsylvania state numbers today. Their numbers was 2,500 from yesterday. It's been over 2,000 for the last week.
Wow, that's a daily case.
Yeah, daily cases, and that's it's not a good thing. I mean,
No.
and I hope these owners are really taking heed and doing what they're supposed to do because.
All right, so here's a question here based on that. What would be Plan B for cigar smokers now? We was experiencing the lockdown in midsummer or prior beginning of summer. What we had to do now is cold, a little different opposed to before when we had this whole thing jumping off when we were shut down. We were able to maybe smoke at home in the backyard. Now, as cigar smokers, just ain't too many jokers want to sit outside and like a cigarette and smoke a whole hour and a half cigar. Like,
I gotta say that's a decision you're gonna have to make whether you're gonna smoke at home or you only smoke outside. Everybody's different how they feel about that. It's getting interesting right now that it may come to that again. I only know one lounge that actually scans people when they have certain things.
okay.
I don't know what else more you can do about that because, just like you said, you can't wear a mask and smoke. That's like going to a restaurant and trying to eat. You can't do it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like I said, God forbid, get to this second wave and we have to shut down again, where the challenge will come in for cigar smokers where to smoke, opposed to when we had the first shutdown, the weather was pretty decent. Now we're looking at colder weather. And like I said, this ain't a cigarette. You got, 5 minutes, 2 puffs,
Yeah.
you throw it to the side. So what is the challenge at that point for folks who want to enjoy it? I guess you got the garage, you get fire pits.
Well, I was about to say, you got an answer. but some people might you might start seeing these patio heaters fly off the hook.
Well, that's what some folks actually.
Oh, they're already going.
Well, you can make your own fire pits. Very simple. I'll tell people go to YouTube, YouTube University. Ain't like YouTube promote us, but it doesn't matter. But you go to YouTube and you actually can say for a small amount of money, create and build your own fire pit, a few bricks. And like I said, so you can have a little fire pit, grab some wood. All these storms that's been hitting the area, go find all these dead trees, break some branches up, keep yourself a little wood supply, and get some friends to come out, get you in a better environment when you sit outside. You see, there's a lesser chance for the virus to, obviously attack you. So I think, just got to get creative now and start thinking outside the box because.
Well, we did that like a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah. We always
like my son made one, and I took the TV out there. We was watching the game.
Right.
We was out there making s'mores and everything.
But here's the problem. Like last couple of nights, to be honest with you, I looked at a couple of videos. Somebody had a party jam packed, like it was nothing going on.
Right. That's what I say. You got to be smart about this, folks. That's the whole thing. And I think this is the reason why the numbers are starting to surge. Because people, it's like, okay, I'm getting back to being in a relaxed mood. I don't have to worry about it. And then on top of that, it is my opinion that a lot of people probably are asymptomatic, meaning that they have it but have no symptoms and, walking around spreading it.
Checking that fever is not going to help.
No. Yeah, because that's what I was wondering about.
It's not a guarantee you're going to have a fever.
If you send a temperature thing, that doesn't necessarily mean that.
And in a lot of communities, they actually do have the free testing, which I would encourage folks to try to go out and do. I know people might not want to know they got it or not. Like, oh, man.
Oh, it ain't the most pleasant test to have. But
no, they stick a drip your nose. Like, ooh, I seen the ghost. I
tickle
seen
your
light.
brain. But some people should be used to it because once they dig up their nose, it's the same thing. They tickling their brain anyway, so it just doesn't make
Boogie chasers. And just snack on them.
attaching the monsters.
Yeah, like, like, yo, my man, how many times you sat there at the light and looked over to the left or right and like, look at this joker right here, man. That joker's really going at it. Oh, don't tell me you're going to eat it. Oh, no, you nasty bastard.
True.
Yeah, so definitely, like I said, but if you got, go online or something like that, go see what's in your community, because they are giving a lot of these tests out. Not as many as I noticed maybe like 2 months ago, but there are some places giving out the free tests, the Rite Aids, the Walgreens,
Right.
drive through. Go get it checked out. I mean, hey, peace of mind.
Hey,
Better know if you have it, you handle it. Because a lot of times, if you have it right now and you don't know, you probably obviously gonna be fine. Mm-hmm. Just the fact, like, hey, I'm one of those asymptomatic people.
Well, they say this first time. It's like, and I ain't gonna spend too much time. None of us medical doctors here, they don't even understand. You know damn well we don't understand.
Of course not. We smoke cigars.
Well,
Yeah.
let me
Cigar smokers and everything.
Okay. Speaking of that, let me ask you guys a cigar related question. Now, how do you feel about this? Like, I think it's funny when you get these certain people that will smoke a cigar and say, "Oh man, this tastes like leather," or baby's diaper, or a new car smell, or are you kidding me? When did you ever taste a piece of wood or bite a piece of sneaker or whatever?
Spice.
So how do you know what this stuff tastes like? You know what I
no,
mean?
sometimes it's kind of questionable. Some people maybe take. They may be windowsill lead-based paint eaters.
Yeah, I could see something that you could say smell like, but when you say it has that taste, I'm like, stop it.
I walk away from you because
You know what I mean?
that's the ultimate stupidity to me. So I'm gonna walk away from you.
But if you read any type of aficionado, I mean, that's one of the whole descriptive.
And it's
breakdowns.
comical. It's pure comical.
But you think about
You know
it,
what I mean?
in this industry, that's how they break it. Okay, I got notes of, cocoa, chocolate, espresso.
All those
leathers.
I can live with that you've tasted normally in your life.
Depends on where you live
But
We from the city. We
look,
from the city.
you
So
know, but
we ain't get the taste on.
I ain't been tasting those sneakers or nothing, man. So,
Baby's diaper.
Yeah, they got interesting diet there.
Oh man! So you're saying you kind of disagree with that whole?
absolutely. It's like you're going too far. I'm not going to say you're not knowledgeable, and you can taste certain things
Right.
in your palate, but that ain't normal things people eat to have in your palate to know what that tastes like or whatever. I don't know what you're tasting, but that ain't it.
And the whole thing, did you really clear your palate? And that's what it comes back for the question he asked when people say they taste this. I'm like, first of all, how do you taste it? If you don't retro inhale it, you're not really tasting. Your taste buds are not really in your mouth for smoke. For food, yes. For smoke, no.
Right. That's very correct. Now, okay. Well, let me ask this question then: have you ever had that experience that you had a certain flavor profile when you smoked a cigar? You're like, okay, opposed to another cigar that you have smoked. You don't think?
Oh,
whatever.
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
But you just have a different way of
Yeah,
describing it.
no, I'm saying like the normal cigar, say you got one that doesn't do anything, it's just smooth. And then you get one that may be smooth and you taste a hint of chocolate or a little bit of vanilla.
Be careful now. Be careful. Cause
But that's something you eat.
okay.
So, but like I said, how you gonna say, this tastes like a Nike Air Max? Like, come on, man. I was like, you gotta be realistic.
Or maybe they should say the taste like the smell of.
Well, I said I could deal with you say the smell, but they say
You're
taste.
right.
They say these are the taste they get
that's
from
true.
the cigars.
yeah, the
That's
smell you
different.
get and the taste is two different things.
That's a whole different
that's-
animal.
And then it depends where you're doing your tasting from. You should not be doing your first retro inhale to at least the first inch of the cigar.
Agreed, 1,000%.
And
Say
then
that
after
again.
you get
Say that again for
50%.
folks. Because you can't. As soon as you light a cigar up, you ain't getting the flavor of the cigar. As soon as you 2 puffs, oh yeah, bro, stop that. Let the cigar start to burn. Let it heat up a little bit. Then you start getting some flavors. You don't get the first 30 seconds.
Nah, you actually get more carbon
Yes.
from the natural burn process than you get anything. And still, depending whether the cigar is front end loaded or back end loaded, which basically just as layman's terms, the good portion of that product is started in front end, which most manufacturers don't do that much, but it's mostly in the back. Because if it's in the front, when you get to the back, you got mostly junk.
Right.
A good blender is going to blend it so it transitions at certain points.
Well, hold on. Cal talking like he know what he's talking about here. Go ahead, Cal. Go ahead, Cal. He worked for one of the cigar companies. He ain't telling us, folks.
No,
I ain't seen him in a while. He over there repping. Who you repping for, man? Cotwell, MECAO. Who you, General Cigars repping now? What's going on, man?
Nah, just rep for long ashes, nice and round table.
All right, well, I'm sorry.
You can't tell people who, even if I was repping, you can't tell people as OB broadcast because people kind of throw curveballs and try to do everything to destroy you.
Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And but taste profiles are different. I mean, you should probably retro hell at least 3 times throughout the course of a cigar. That way, you get the true flavor throughout the cigar.
If I can stop you right there, because most of our listeners are smokers.
Right.
You mentioned retro hell. Can you tell them what that is for those who may be listening? Like, I just found this podcast by accident. What is retro hell? Like, what is that? Like some place you go? No.
It's a process when you take the smoke and right before you swallow, you push it out your nose.
Okay, gotcha. So, folks, there you go. So
and sometimes for the first time, it's gonna burn.
Yeah, it's not.
It's gonna burn the first time.
Yeah. So it takes a while to graduate to that stage.
Yeah, but you can taste everything.
Yeah, beginners, cigar smoker, try that on your first try. You got some weed smokers like, yo, man, I did it all day. I could do the cigar. Yeah, well, this ain't weed, buddy.
Yeah.
So be careful with all that.
And plus, what people don't understand about profiles, and then we can move on, is what you taste in a cigar is what they grow in the off season. And during the off season, they don't actually take the crop; they recultivate the crop back into the soil. So if they growing, let's say, peppers, they don't pick them; they recultivate them and let it get the soil. I mean, like that cigar, the Punisher. People can't take it. It's a great cigar, but you have to get, as you know, you have to get past that few, maybe first couple minutes, and after that, it's a great cigar.
Right.
But that's what they grow in the off season.
Gotcha. See, some more knowledge. Y'all sitting, Ty, you sitting real laid back, man. What's up, bro?
I'm learning from the man.
Okay, there's nothing to rap.
That's because he over there. I don't have no cigar or liquor.
I don't know what you're talking about. I would like to be smoking right now. What kind of setup is this? Hey, in the future, guys, the Smoke World podcast will actually have a smoking room where we actually do the podcast smoking and drinking. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah,
really?
That's
That ain't what you advertising me.
hey, mind your business, man.
Hey, you gotta let me know when that debut is.
Yeah, definitely, because
We gotta have an event.
that changes the whole complexity. You're smoking. Maybe you can even start reviewing. That's something I got to really get into.
Yeah.
I'm not really, but light a cigar and kind of talk about it on the podcast. I'm thinking I would have multiple guests to do that.
Yeah, because
and
that's
get
good.
their
Because
opinion.
then everybody's gonna have a different view.
Yeah, different opinion on a cigar. We all get the same cigar and
Yeah.
kind of smoking and give our opinion of that cigar. So that's the future for Smoke World, to try to make that happen. But so what else is hot, man? Right now, Philly's kind of hot. We don't really get too, I don't say political, but the Smoke World. We talk about everything here on Smoke World.
Man,
Okay, another thing. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Now go ahead.
Yo, folks, today is what? October 31st is Halloween today, but you will hear this on November 1st. Go out and vote. No matter what, go vote. I'm sorry. That was my little PBS.
All right, I'm looking for dollars, so I'm dropping all the ceiling here. I'm waiting for that to happen. We had a little indirect commercial there, but yeah.
Hey, you know how the guys go, buddy. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's hard to say how, especially me, because I haven't really been getting out that much. But when we was getting out, the smoke industry to me is getting real cliquish.
Mm-hmm. We gotta explain that a little bit.
Well, when I first started smoking, it was a good 20-something years ago. A little bit more than that, but I don't want to say too many. It's 26, 27 years. It doesn't matter to me. But
30 years now, how it get longer and longer. 40 years. Mind your business. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir.
I mean, but what happened was everybody would come and gel together.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's getting so much that divide. X people want to go to this shop. X people want to go to that shop. Me, I'm not married to it. I got two home lounge shops. That's it.
Okay.
Those are the ones I give my loyalty the most. Everybody else, I just go visit. It's just because I'm not married to a lounge. I like to go have a good time. Because everybody lounge has something different to offer. They have different cigars to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing. If you don't smoke, you have to learn that. Every lounge or even store or retail, they have something different. It's very rare you'll find everybody had the same in 6 stores.
Right, as far as inventory is concerned.
Yeah, maybe a
cigars.
Patron, maybe they may have. But, they're going to be most of the big time stores. Some Padormos.
Gotcha.
And a few other makers. What about you that you're saying that's constantly in every store? Off the top of my head, I can't recall all of them, but
The Camachos. It's a lot of DBLs in every store.
locally around here.
Yeah, locally.
As you go outside, they start to dissipate a little bit.
That's pretty much a local
Yeah, matter of fact,
manufacturer.
he got something new. I got the other day. Haven't smoked it yet, but we'll see.
Okay. DBL.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great
It's been a while since I've been smoking this stuff on a regular. Cause like I said, I try personally not to limit myself to the same cigars.
Gotcha. But you got different pockets too.
Yeah, I got different palettes. Palettes.
No, pockets. Dollar bills, y'all.
I got different palettes. Yeah, I mean, it helps to smoke variety. You get to actually taste. You can always have your go-tos.
Right.
Yeah, it's too many out there.
It is. It's millions, man.
Yeah. Well, just like the one you just talked to, the McAuliffe. I never heard of that. But
I hadn't either.
That was a good smoke.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
So that's what I mean. I would have never tried that.
They only do brick and mortar. They don't sell anything online. Just strictly and brick and mortar stores only.
Yeah, they all most of all the boutique cigar manufacturers are like that, like DLB, Casuela, this I forget. I don't even want to say her name because I don't want her to get mad at me. From Drunken Cigars, they all boutique, but they're great cigars.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean,
Speaking of that,
absolutely great
I gotta give her a
cigars.
shout out.
Drunken Chicken?
Desiree. She's planning on sponsoring the Smoke World podcast. We're gonna have a giveaway. We got to create something on that giveaway where she will be actually giving away some cigars from Drunken Chicken Cigars. So shout out to Desiree. She out there doing the thing. She on the road. I think she's in North Carolina.
When you talk to her, tell her I got somebody that want to put their cigars in the store.
Okay,
So,
definitely.
I think I got a card, email, so that way I have to keep everything pushing. I mean, just because they're not a large brand cigar, don't make them good.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You gotta remember that.
Absolutely.
I mean, we understand because we, but it's for the listeners who don't smoke all the time,
right? Who don't have that,
or scared to change that palate, or only go to a store where they only got 10 brands of cigars.
Yeah.
Or lounge. You have to try something new.
I'll go back to your conversation as far as the lounge being cliquish.
Okay.
What makes you? Well, I guess what's in your opinion is the reason why, opposed to, like I said, show love. It's like, okay, you got this lounge, you got that lounge. Again, I'm not married to any lounge. I enjoy.
Right, absolutely.
And I think what makes the lounge to me is the people there, because we can go outside and sit in the patio. We got a good group of folks. We're gonna be there. And in my opinion, that's what makes a lounge. Just the people that you go and see, conversate with, laugh and joke. So it's not necessarily, the lounge does, give some ambiance to the situation, but it's really the people that make the lounge for me.
And if it's a lounge I haven't been to for a while or have not visited, because it's open, don't take it personal. When the pandemic over, I'll be there. Trust me.
Right.
I get around. I can float around by myself, just stop somewhere just to have a smoke, because that's what I want to do, or just try something new.
Well, plus too, like you said, you might be a member at different lounges, but every lounge does offer something different. Like, say, one might be more into watching sports, the other ones might be into playing cards.
Gotcha.
Some people just sit around. It depends on what mood you're in
Gotcha.
that day when you go to the lounge.
So yeah, that's very important too, because maybe even when you do certain smokes, it could be based on your mood. Like, you know what, I'm in the mood for this today, that kind of thing. So
Absolutely.
And like I said, a long time ago in the industry, everything was always friendly. People make you welcome. You don't always get that these days.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I guess I was trying to ask. Do you think you know why, or?
Well, you can't never get into somebody's head. Get in somebody's head like.
That's what I said. In your opinion,
It's like watching Wile E. Coyote trying to catch, trying to catch the road runner. Yeah. So.
Well, it could be they're getting too comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we
yeah.
gotta elaborate on that.
Yeah, I can
Well,
agree
if
with
you
that.
have a certain lounge and you get too comfortable that I got X amount of people coming all the time, then you don't put the same effort in towards your customers that you would have when you were trying to grasp customers. Then you saying like, I'm here, I'm established, they're going to come to me anyway. You're going to have a different attitude than I need to do to keep customers here.
Like some people do in their relationships. Ooh,
True.
That
It's
is.
a good point.
Yeah.
Same difference. Same
Yeah,
difference.
when
Just
you first trying to grab it, yo, shorty. You know what I mean? Doing all kind of little tricks and all kind of. I'm sending a little text, what's up, babe? But once you get them, yeah, whatever. I'm going to sleep. You ain't cooked nothing. She tripping. All right, that's a good analogy, definitely.
yeah. So it's kind of one of them things. It's up in the air, and I mean, me and Ty talk a lot. We always try to ration out some situations just to try to say, hey, because we go sit somewhere, sit there by ourselves, and just start smoking and drinking, just watch watch TV, talking whatever we doing, we can do it. We do it on the normal, so it really doesn't matter to us.
Gotcha. Well, that's what I was wondering. You know, I mean, just based on because y'all have well traveled, and like I said, seeing some of the differences between the lounges and the cliquish and the attitude and the lack of some customer service in certain places.
Well, the only thing I'll say is different than like out of the lounges I've been to. I only got to say their name because like at pairings, the dimensions don't fit. Like being the way everything's is not spread out properly enough for me to make me comfortable.
Gotcha. Based on
Nothing wrong with the lounge. It's just
size capacity at this moment.
Yeah, it's not
No, I can
good
feel
for
that.
this whole thing.
Yeah, and that's just the reality. A lot
Yeah,
of
and they don't
lounges-
have an outside setup or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah, or just some of them just poorly planned.
And I
You
think,
can't
like I said,
just
I mean,
throw something into a store and think it's going to work. It's not
you
really.
know, and I think maybe just jumping off of Ty's point, originally, we think about cigar lounges. It was more of an intimate setting, conversational piece. So it wasn't necessarily the size of a sports bar. A lot of them, there's a few of them that are.
Right.
But for the most part, it was an intimate setting. Sit back, chill, have a good conversation with somebody, have a drink. And now in this era, unfortunately, that is a negative for you because you only can fit so many people in this confined space. And a lot of these states have a limited capacity seating. So, if you only get 10, 15 people in there, and you're still kind of tight, like, I don't feel comfortable even with the 10 or 15 people right up on me. So that does create a challenge.
that goes back to the thing of for planning. Planning.
I
mean, although you got to get with your pockets and forward.
Right, and I'm thinking back in the day, let's say years ago, the cigar industry was, I guess in my opinion, was more of an intimate setting. You relax, a place where you go and, have a good conversation. It wasn't necessarily you had to build a supersized place.
Right.
And you still had the lighting, right, the chairs, the leather chairs, had the little pictures on the wall.
Basically, you saying they wasn't nightclubs. That's just
Right,
just throwing
right.
for what it is.
Yeah.
You beating around the bush.
Well,
Hey,
I
minutes.
do notice that a lot of these lounges are understanding too to get rid of the couches, and the chairs are more.
Independent.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
absolutely.
because couches you're all bunched up against people. That's not comfortable.
Right, especially
So-
for men. Yeah, men
Yeah.
don't feel. Women can get away with that, but men don't. You're right. That's a very good point. Men don't feel comfortable sitting on the sofa next to each other.
Three dudes sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
Why you grabbing my knee, man? Grab my knee, dog. It's gonna be grab my knee one more time.
Or you going to have to call security.
You're right. Security.
And plus the ergonomics when it comes to the couches are not good anyway because they're not. When you have to get out of them, you have to push yourself.
Yeah.
You need assistance.
Yeah, somebody
You
gonna
might as
push
well
you
put
backside.
you need pool bars to help y'all get out of there.
Yo, grab my butt again, man. Stop playing. I told you about that. You need some help, dog. I'll give you some help.
Yeah, that's why what Ty said. The chairs is always
Yeah, better option.
best. It's just as if you're a new owner or existing owner, just be mindful about what you're doing when you go look into these retail spaces and what you can put in there, what you can't put in there. 'Cause sometimes I think a lot of people shoot themselves in their own foot by doing their designs and coming up with all these programs. Like our biggest thing we always talking about is lounges who got members, but no separation between members and the general public.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, it's the open.
It's just open floor plan, which sometimes doesn't make sense. And everybody has their rationale, but
Tell me the pros.
I mean, again, you get more people. You keep it open because now if you put a room, you're looking and dividing. You probably
No, the membership part. What separates me from them?
Oh, like I said, pros and cons.
That's what I'm saying. What's the pro of buying it to not buying it?
Well, because I mean, you're talking from an owner perspective or from a smoker's perspective.
Smoker's perspective. I don't care about the owner's
Well, that's
perspective.
what I'm saying. So you got to figure people who create these lounges are owners, and it's a business. So we respect that. So, okay, you got a business, you got to run. So you're going to do whatever you can do, the most economical and feasible way to make money. So, but now as a smoker, coming from a smoker's perspective, he's like, okay, I want to be kind of separate from the regular folks, unless this is members lounge only, and you make that the case. But is it truly a members lounge only?
I'm going to say you won't make more money that way.
Right. So you
So
got those
that would
different
be that would
dynamics.
kill yourself.
But
But on the same token, that box doesn't really make them money because they sell to you to buy these cigars so you can store in your box. But then when you come there and you don't buy anything because you're buying the ones using at their box, they're wondering why they're not making money and all these people are here.
Right.
You can't sell it for one thing and then when they use it,
Right. Then you mad.
you know what I mean? But because to me, what I'd always try to do is I stock my box with stuff when you have events where you get the better deals and you can buy a bunch of cigars. That's when I would put them in my box. But if the event was yesterday and I decided to come back tomorrow, I'm not buying no cigars a day and I just bought 20 or 10 yesterday. It doesn't make sense.
In my opinion, if a lounge gives you any problems with that, then you have the wrong lounge.
and here's the problem. Here's the big problem. Me, myself, we got the same humidor, 450 count humidors, and they don't include other stuff. Stuff in lockers in 2 different places. After a while, what are you going to keep doing with it? I got a bag, probably like 40 bags, right? This is one of my bags carrying around probably about 30, 40 cigars in it just because I'm running out of space.
Hey, buddy.
Well, that's because I thought we were smoking, but anyway.
Hey, but we're going to definitely be able to do that.
But the point is, how many cigars can you buy if you don't have the space? Right. And a lot of people are getting to the point, though, instead of buying locker space, which is probably about a 6x9, maybe, and you can get big humidors a lot cheaper, store them at home.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not to take away from the lounge, because like I said, I got 2 lockers in 2 different places. But the point is I'm going to go back to my original point. I've been in construction almost 30 years.
Yes, sir.
When you rent a space, buy a space, you make that space compatible to what works for the store. And with your mission, you can't say, hey, I'm going to start out this way, take a turn, start this way, because then the original way is not going to work without you doing some rehab to change.
Gotcha.
So, and then, if any owners are listening,
they are.
if anybody tell you one thing, you should talk to somebody been in the industry that has a store for a long time. Cigar industry is a slow grind. It's not a fast grind. That goes back to the same thing Ty was talking about, because we do the same thing. When you have these big events, you go buy a box here, box 2, buy all the deals, and you store them. You're not going to buy a cigar every day.
Of course not.
Especially if you have a membership.
Absolutely. I wouldn't expect you to. Now, any lounge that's really looking at you.
Oh, some people do, though.
Okay, listen, hear me now, folks. You owners, because now you're hearing the people's voices. If you're thinking, or you're hoping, or even wishing, you have an event on a certain night, and the next day or 2 days later, the member comes in there after they done bought 2 and 3 boxes of cigars, and that they're going to buy a cigar that day, let me tell you what you're smoking. Crack. It's not going to happen. So don't expect anybody who is a member of a lounge, and you owners are listening, we love you, but I'm hoping you're not thinking that way, because if you're thinking that way, you're thinking totally wrong. That's not going to happen. You just spent $300 2-3 days ago, and I'm supposed to come back in here, now you mad because I didn't buy an $8 stick? You got to be kidding me.
Now, on the flip side of the coin, I'm going to flip side of the coin. I'm going to go on the owner side this time.
Fine. Come on,
On
owner.
the owner side this time. Now, what burns me up, the number one thing that burns me up out the most is stealing from these owners.
Say it again.
It's stealing cigars from the owners.
You got to elaborate on that, sir.
Oh, it's people who steal.
You mean like steal? Like you mean
Steal.
like go in the humidor and put in your
Steal,
pocket?
steal.
I mean like from back in the day, like the 5 and dime at the corner store?
Yeah, they do the distraction. They do all the 52 figure out distraction and steal.
Oh, wow.
Oh, we seen videos of.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm saying,
it's
you
not
know,
a whole lot, but it happens.
It happens. And
Well, of course.
You know.
You can't get away for certain things.
Yeah.
But, I mean, again, like I said, not a common thing, which is a good thing.
Well,
Yeah, cigar culture.
also too, since you brought up that on the owner's side, as far as proper etiquette, we always have this conversation about smoking outside cigars.
that was my next point.
Oh,
That
sorry.
was my next point. Go
All
ahead,
right,
Ty.
But the way I look at it is just like he said. We both have 400 count cigars. I mean humidors. I have bonus humidors. He does. We don't need to go to a lounge.
Right.
We go to the lounge for the
Socialization.
socialization, the camaraderie, all of that, and it's great being around other smokers.
Yeah.
And I understand you got bills to pay. So when you go to a lounge, even if I want to smoke what I have for that day, purchase at least 2 or 3 sticks from that lounge.
Yeah.
And to me, it should be equal the same. I know some lounges get upset about that. They don't want you to, but I don't understand what's the difference. Whether you smoke what you brought or you smoke what they bought, long as you made a purchase, it shouldn't matter. Because
every lounge is not going to have every cigar you smoke.
exactly,
And that's
because if I go to XYZ lounge and they don't have a Padron, but I got a Padron I want to smoke today.
Right.
But I feel like chilling at this person's lounge today. So I'm going to go there, buy some cigars I probably don't need, just so I can smoke this Padron at your place. And you got to understand that. I understand if somebody comes in your lounge bringing some cigars from home and they don't buy anything, you don't make any money. I get that. But you got to look at the whole thing. And that way you'll be happy, they'll be happy, and we can continue this relationship.
Right. And let me. That was one of my points, but one of my other points is worse than the second point we just finished talking about. If people bring in guests that do not buy anything.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I said,
See,
etiquette.
we just assuming just as members that you do that, but as a guest, I mean, you're kind of obligated to
Purchasing.
Oh, absolutely. Like
Absolutely.
if you can't go into a restaurant and just order water.
and he heard me walking stores. The first thing, walking lounges, we may go to the first time. What's your etiquette? Hey, what do you mean? What do you require to buy, or what don't you require? And he have heard me say that plenty of times. Like, wow, I never had nobody ask me that. It's just I want to make sure I respect you as an owner. Say, hey, I'm a consumer. Although we're taking up space, but half of them, if you're empty anyway, what difference whether you got people in there, you got somebody smoking a cigar anyway. The point is, the more people you have in the store smoking, it draws that's another draw to a crowd.
Yes.
So I mean, I just didn't want to talk about us as the consumers, because some of the owners are having difficult times with some of the things that are going on,
Oh, absolutely.
and it has gotten worse since the pandemic. But as consumers, we have to understand they have to try to make a profit, and it take us to act like a consumer and purchase something, not just one cigar. Sometimes I go in there, I see something out. How much that box? I buy the whole box if that's what I want.
Right.
But we have to be self-conscious. I mean, if we Me and him, we go in there. We probably can spend up almost $200. We got another fella that may go to almost another $200-300. I'm talking between 2 or 3 people because we try to support.
Are they hiring at your place? Are they hiring at your job? I'm sorry.
Man, I'm like, Tom, y'all don't work nowhere.
I'm looking. I'm filling out applications. Can you give me an application? Sorry, folks, I had to interrupt. I'm sorry. Proceed.
Well, let's circle back to, since you brought that up, let's circle back to the beginning about the women at the lounge. That's that's another key thing that you can bring up about as far as attracting women. Like when they come in, you kind of got to go extra to cater to them to make them welcome, but they're not going to stay at an empty lounge.
Gotcha. Well, right, because they become too much like a
because
centerpiece.
it's something. Yeah, it's something about when women are somewhere and it's not that many people. They're not going to stay that long and they're going to leave.
Interesting. Okay.
So that's another thought.
Folks, if you're listening, owners, you're getting free knowledge here today.
Yeah, some of them guys that like nets, and some of the owners need to say, yo, you need to just cool out or you got to go. Because it runs away a customer or true. 2 or 3 that you don't know anything about.
Yes.
Because sometimes people go somewhere, they tired of being in the house, they want to scope somewhere else. They might be having, I want to have a little get together with some of my friends and my girlfriends. So be mindful of that. I mean, it's different having a conversation. You really ain't talking about nothing. You're just having a conversation. You can tell when a woman don't. Well, most people should be able to tell when a woman don't want to talk to them more.
Yeah, you got that one who just gonna keep pushing.
And I had to save a couple women. They said, "Thanks for coming over." I said, "I seen you squirming and looking." I said, "Let me go save you." I said, "He don't mean no harm. You know, he just
he's getting my nerves down. Thank you."
He like little net.
I ain't say that.
But just keep in mind, I'm not staying. I'm going back to where I was at.
Please stay right here with me.
Now you come over there with us, but I'm not coming over here.
Right. I mean, we have had that. I mean, it's this cigar culture is a wonderful thing, but I think we're getting away from some people are getting away from the basics.
Okay.
You have to take the envy out, the hatred. I don't like this person because this lounge is bigger than mine, or they carry something different than mine. You have to get away from that kind of. Yeah, it's a divide conquer rule that's been dealing with people forever, and it's really getting bad in the industry. And it's taken away from the ambiance with that. Some people want loud music all the time. Some people want TV. Some people want TV and music. Some people just want nothing. Some people just want a little conversation.
Some people a little jazz.
Yeah, so you want to see what you want to cater to the audience, not what you think that you want to play.
Yes,
or watch on TV. Like Ty, you know,
I ain't saying nothing, man.
So we go to a lounge.
I ain't saying nothing.
We go to a lounge. This particular owner, one TV controls. He got one TV. Everything's on the same TV, and he watched the dumbest thing. Like, what the hell is this?
Watching it. Like, what's going on right now?
Like, man, give me the thing. Turn to the football game.
What was this other stuff y'all watching? Like, really? I'm watching. I love this. Yeah, you love this. I mean, that's why you ain't got nobody in here. It's like a DJ who's partying for himself. Ain't nobody dancing, but you don't love this junk. Dog, the dance floor's empty, man. You see nobody dancing to your little wannabe mixes. You suck. You need to play the music they want. So,
hey, before you get off there, let's go back to Long Ass, man, because we actually has been some trendsetters.
The who?
We've been trendsetters.
Who?
And Long Ass is nice round table.
Okay.
And I can basically, I can throw it out there like that. Because we was the first smoking group that actually started hosting parties.
How about that? I do remember those.
From place to place.
Because don't want nobody get all mad now.
No.
They can't get us through the
it's
trendsetters.
Oh, that's okay. I ain't hard to find.
They're like, yeah, guess what?
I ain't hard to find.
Let's go get this little mother effer. He right.
Yeah, I ain't hard to find. You know, we did some things, and it's some other groups out there. Like I can name one in particular, Baltimore Three Divas. They have done a phenomenal job of promoting with products. I mean, there's a lot of groups out there. I mean, there's a lot. I got over 60, 70 that I'm members of. People keep putting me in them, but I can't post to everyone's site. But I always take a look at it, try to like pictures, try to say a little something, just to show support.
That's what's up.
And that's one thing we need to do is start supporting each other. We got some trendsetters that have been around.
Like, remember, keep it cigar.
Yeah. Especially keep it all about cigars.
Because
I
I
didn't have
the reason why you're saying that, but
Yeah,
I dig that.
Yeah,
Deep.
I did have some conversations about administrators from that page, and they said, "Yeah, we get sick of that." I mean, it's the whole culture, the whole thing is said cigar page. Keep about smoking.
Right.
We ain't say drinking. We say smoking because that's what it is, and we're not really out here. We're not out here making money to say, hey, doing direct advertisement, you support this. Although it is welcome, but we don't do that.
Absolutely. Smoke world.
We always say supporters, and we always encourage boutique cigar owners or even major manufacturers, hey, post whatever you want. Because one thing that we do, and we will not tolerate anybody, although everybody will have an opinion, but you have to keep your comments to a minimum. Mm-hmm. So that way, we don't want to start no back and forth with anyone. Or good conversation is one thing, but starting where it becomes confrontational, especially if you happen to see the person.
Gotcha.
And that's the type of atmosphere and bullying. That's the type of stuff we don't want to see.
Okay, good stuff.
I mean, we don't have a lot of members like most, but we keep it to a minimum because it's controllable.
Okay, makes sense.
Whereas because like I see every post that comes up, and I'm sure Ty does as well, and we don't have a problem deleting it if it's unrelated, if it's not related to the industry, or it's putting some shade on another cigar store owner. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just disrespectful. That's things that's not tolerated, nor should anyone else tolerate it.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100% on that.
Because remember, we can't do it without one another.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I said, that's the culture. This is something, like I said, we sit back and we enjoy. And at the end of the day, I always tell folks, tomorrow ain't promise. So you smoke that cigar like it ain't going tomorrow, brother. That's my whole thing. As we wrap up, man, is there anything, that you guys want to mention or let the folks know before we shut it down?
Yes. Long Ashes, Knights of the Round Tables. Check us out.
Absolutely. How about you, T?
Nah, I'm good. That do it for me.
Although I could smoke and drink, but that's another story.
Hey, security. Well, folks, listen. That's another episode of Smoke World. That's in the books. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at SmokeWorld50. Email SmokeWorld50. And another thing, make sure you subscribe to whatever platform you may be listening to this on. You can subscribe to us on most platforms. I appreciate y'all listening. We're going to check you out in the next episode. Peace.